and he is the king of double-breasted suits. I had to throw it in there. Listen to this. This man took 39 credit hours his senior year and still managed to become first-team All-American academic.
Yeah, you did your homework.
You tried that. I went to MBA Unplugged. My name is Charles Winfrey. I'm a freshman business finance major from Nashville, Tennessee. Today I'm joined alongside my co-host, Professor of Finance here at Morehouse College, the legend, the GOAT, Professor James Young. And today, we are joined by two, in my opinion, of the most influential Morehouse alums that we have had come through here, man. Y'all really are an inspiration. So before, it only makes sense that I do a formal introduction. So my first guest here on the far end, he grew up on the east side of Atlanta. He attended Cedar Grove High School. After that, he ended up at Morehouse, where he played for the golf team and brought Morehouse their first and only national championship alongside this man right here. This man on the left, he's a visionary, a pro golfer, a designer, and Mercedes-Benz ambassador. Not many people can say that. He's the king of double-breasted suits. I had to throw it in there. The king of double-breasted suits and the founder of Eastside Golf, Olajuwon Ajanaku. And my other guest, he's from Wilmington, Delaware. He was the first black all-state golfer in Delaware. Not to mention, listen to this. This man took 39 credit hours his senior year and still managed to become first-team All-American academic and wrote a children's book in the same year. He is a published author, a national champion, a motivational speaker, a PGA Professional, and most importantly, the co-founder of Eastside Golf, Earl Cooper. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. You did your homework.
You tried that. Got to.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So I want to jump right into it. Like I said, y'all are Morehouse alum, and college is really just a transformative time for a lot of people. You find out who you are, you find out your career, what you really want to do. So I want to ask both of you, what role did Morehouse play in developing you, and kind of how that shaped into the identity of Eastside Golf today?
Yeah, I would say Morehouse definitely helped me. Morehouse College helped me find pride in who I am. You know, at the end of the day, you're like, if you're going to start something, what's going to be the reason for it, and what's your goal? You know, and if you look at our logo, it's a black man. You know, you usually don't see.
Not just any black man, it's you.
Yeah,
let's get it right. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, the logo is me. Yeah. But you usually don't see, I would say, logos that have influence, and that ours, you know, it's a golf. He's swinging, Cuban link chain going this way, you know, and he's black, but he's just being himself. And hopefully, like, everybody sees being authentic, that is what gets you far within business. You know, that's what Morehouse taught me. You know, that's what, you know, just growing up in Atlanta taught me. And it just brought me pride, and it told me that it was validity in being black. And there's something that, there's a lot that you can offer that is out there that people haven't seen before. Mm-hmm. So just stand on that, and you know, of course, use business as your structure, which we've learned at Morehouse. But I mean, the world is, you know, whatever you want it to be. You know, just stick to being you.
Earl?
I mean, Morehouse for me, I guess in the beginning, it was the first time that I seen African American men study. Mm-hmm. Like, I just didn't see that growing up. You know, came in, you know, grew up in a good home, both parents, but academics was never really like pressed upon us. Or you know, I was just always just told, like, just keep playing golf. You know what I mean? You'll be alright, that sort of thing. And I ended up finding Morehouse on the internet, and I'll never forget, like, in the beginning, people like, oh, you want to be a Morehouse man? I had no idea. I'm like, yo, why are you getting so excited? You know what I mean? It was like a thing, and I'm like, what do you like? I had no idea. Came down for homecoming, experienced it, and I was like, nah, this is me. Like, it felt at home. I had never seen it before. And again, it was just that balance. So President Franklin was the president during that time, and you know, really just, again, he had that saying of the 5 Wells, which is well read, well spoken, well traveled, well dressed, and overall well balanced. And that's something, again, that those weren't just cliche words. You know what I mean? And still to this day, that's not cliche words. Those are words that, like, I really try to embody. And yeah, now Morehouse, again, it certainly gave me a confidence. Like, I always like to tell people too, like, you know, I come in from Wilmington, Delaware. It's a small town, so like Atlanta's huge to me, right? And you come to this campus and you like, man, and I transferred too, so I had like a point of reference. You know, so like when people was complaining about cat food, I'm like, man, this is better than where I was coming from. You know what I'm saying? And just other scenarios, I'm like, yo, it could be worse.
Yeah.
So I had that point of perspective that I felt like really kind of helped shape, but the confidence that I got and just the fact that like you can do it, and I'm seeing people that look just like me out here crushing it. You know what I mean? People were working for the Fed at that time. Ben Bernanke was running in, and just like people doing research at Virginia Tech. Like it was just mind blowing for me because you know I go back home. I used to always say like going like you would come to school and before you leave it was like you press pause. And then you come back and you press play, and it's the same people, same corners, doing the same job.
That's a good analogy.
You know what I mean? It's never, they're not bad people.
Right.
These are people that, you know, I grew up with, I love to date, but it would just be like, literally, you would go away for, you know, a semester and come back during the winter, you'd be like, yo, you still doing that. When I'm down here seeing all kind of stuff, like my mind is just being stretched and molded, so that's what Morehouse did for me.
Yeah, man, I think that's just a testament because there's really no place else on earth where you're gonna get. I mean, look at this room where you're gonna get all these black successful people.
That's right.
And it gets to a point where I said in our last video, it was iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
You see your roommate internship with JP Morgan, it's like, man, what am I doing? It's like I need to lock in. So it's like, I mean, shoot, I can imagine seeing y'all 3-time state conference player of the year for Morehouse. But one thing I want to go into Eastside Golf. Obviously, it's golf, and before Tiger Woods, the sport was majority white, and to be honest, it basically still is majority white. So it gets to a point now where us as African Americans, we aren't really exposed to the sport, and it almost comes off at times like we're not like welcome to the sport. So I want to ask you guys, like, what made you like know it was going to be golf, and how have you guys feel like why did you come on the scene as hard as you get, like the way you're changing the culture, like you got on your shirt, like change, like the way y'all came Cuban links, like you can't do that on a golf course. I mean, y'all have changed the game, so I want y'all to talk a little bit about that and how the approach between the golf game.
I would say, well, first, repeat like the first question.
So I said, what made you decide like golf, and then how did you really change the culture, or what perspective did you change it like that?
Yeah, I chose golf because honestly, golf changed my life. I grew up, like you said, East Atlanta, and there's a golf course called Sugar Creek Golf Course right off Boulder Crest Road. And I mean, I used to literally like leave the golf course and there's a pilot like right across the interstate, and you see Gucci Mane standing right there. You know what I'm saying? And I used to see Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug, all these guys, they're from East Atlanta, you know? But I'm seeing my environment, and then I'm going right back to the golf course, you know? And instead of, I would say, getting mentorship or help from quote unquote streets or whatever from East Atlanta, the golf course had that for me. I mean, there's nothing but, you know, doctors, lawyers, you know, entrepreneurs, positive people, you know, dads, fathers, you know, positive people that have just a different insight on, I would say, positive life. You know what I'm saying? And I never had really seen that. You know, dad wasn't there and for too long, and so where was I going to get that from? You know, but the game of golf taught me so much. I mean, I used to hit balls until my hands bleed, you know. But that's because I wanted to turn pro. But golf was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And because of that, I felt like I could do anything, you know, and start a business. I literally started this business on LegalZoom.com. Like, it was Eastside Golf LLC out of my apartment, you know. But all in all, started off with golf because it changed my life. And on top of that, ran so hard because there were so many times I would be out on the golf course when I was younger, and there were certain things I wanted to see that I wasn't seeing, you know. And it might feel like for black folks or diverse people, like golf isn't, I guess, welcoming, because it's not. But the whole thing is we just need it to be attractive in the first place. Once we find it attractive, once we see, you know, that it's not boring, that it's just showed to us a different way, now we can go out there and actually take advantage of the game and build those relationships. And at the end of the day, maybe I would say build the economy because of your circles, because of the game of golf.
You know, one of the things we would talked about in our office that I really like about it is that, you know, when I was coming up, basketball was a thing. It still is, and it's so overly saturated with people doing t-shirts, shorts, socks, whatever, gym shoes, whatever. It's all it's all over the place. But in your space, I mean, you're it.
Yeah.
And to me, that could be a double-edged sword because you're putting yourself out there and you can get totally rejected, or in your case, thank God, you've been embraced. So how do you explain that? Because that to me, that's a little, you're a disruptor.
Yeah, I think so. For us, we always lean back on the fact that we've been playing golf since the age of 6 years old. So and having started at 6, we meet at Morehouse, win a national championship. O turns pro. I then become a PGA professional, and I'm working at these country clubs and climbing that ladder, right, and doing really, really well. But I think throughout that process, we've always known, like in our heart, that we wanted golf to look like this room, right? And so it's one of them things where now we just didn't know how to go about it, didn't know what the opportunity was, and didn't know, to your point, whether it was going to be embraced. All of these questions that I think are natural to assume. But we were able to, I think, just again, we talked about this in there, it's timing, man. Like where we were, like I tell people all the time, and I know this kind of sounds cliche, potentially, like I thank God that I didn't get this opportunity straight out of college. And the only reason why I say that is because I know I didn't have the discipline. I would have, man, I'd be out here with iced out, like it would be crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be everything that I quote unquote shouldn't be doing, trying to show that I got more money that I don't have, and then I do got a little.
The discipline.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
talking about the discipline.
Yeah, just the discipline of like
Yep.
just understanding like when we were, it was like, even when we were building our business very early on, and like people would come to us and want to do certain things, it was like, it was almost like they were coming at us as if we were 18-year-olds straight out of high school.
Right.
Or college, you know what I mean? It was like, nah, I'm like, yo, I got responsibilities. We started this thing when we were 30. I had a girlfriend, she had a son, like, it was mortgage, car note, like it was a real
life.
Yeah, it had life.
Yeah,
So
life. Yep.
it was just never one of them things. So I say all that to say, like, the business necessarily, we went about it from a sound approach. It wasn't from just like, as O would say, we won together, and winning a national championship here at Morehouse wasn't easy, but to be able to accomplish that and then going on our separate journeys and coming back together, it's just one of them things that, even still now, we just continue to push each other.
Yeah. You said something that I caught. You said you started this literally out of your apartment. And today, everybody sees the deals, the shoes, seat on the feet, documentaries, Mercedes, but it wasn't a time, it wasn't always like this.
No.
And I want you to talk about that. He said, I want you to talk about...
It was the look.
Yeah.
No.
He got a story to tell about this. I want you to talk about that time where you were like, is this thing really going to work out? And I know, entrepreneurship, like it's what this is, and a lot of people want to go into it. So I want you to talk about that time where you were questioning really if this was going to work out, and how did you find your way out of that situation?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it was a goal for myself to turn back pro in golf. So after I graduated from Morehouse, my major was accounting. I turned pro in golf, did that for 2 years, won a couple of pro events, but it got to a point I just couldn't afford it anymore. I was thinking about jobs. I was a cart boy. I was caddying over at Druid Hills, and living with my mom at the time. I was 22, and she came to me. She was like, "It's time you get a job, my brother." So I had to give up my dream, And I was in commercial finance for about 8 years. I financed tractors, trailers, construction equipment, motor coaches. My job was to go to the F&I managers and get their business and get their paper to finance for their customers to scale them. So did that for 8 years, was about to become VP of a finance firm, and I got home one day, I was just like, this ain't it. Like, I wanted to turn back pro in golf, but I knew it'd be hard to find sponsors. I already tried that. So, you know what? First things first, let me just make a logo. So, logo that you see, jeans, sweatshirt, Cuban link chain, it's me. I was gonna put it on my bag and my polo for when I turned pro. And then I showed it to him. He was just like, yo, you need to put that on a t-shirt. So ended up putting it on a t-shirt, a Gildan, went downtown Detroit at the time. In 2 hours, I maybe got stopped like 100 times.
Sheesh.
Just like, who are you? What's that logo? Where can I get it? And do you play golf?
Yeah.
So then from there, I just like came
You
back.
know you had something.
Bro, I got something, bro.
Yeah.
You know, but still don't know what it is. He was
Right.
doing his own thing, you know, killing it up in Delaware. He was just like, bro, run with it. You know, so I ended up designing about 9 different SKUs. It's crazy, my major was accounting, but my passion is design, you know. But I designed like 9 different SKUs. The first 3,000 orders I shipped out from my apartment in Detroit
Wow.
myself. You know, like driving 2 hours out to the blue canisters at post offices, filling them all the way up,
Yeah.
have to find another one. You know, so.
So you're doing everything yourself?
Yeah,
Literally
marketing,
everything.
yeah, shipping out, customer service, posting. I mean, whatever, emails,
Yeah.
like whatever it is,
Yeah.
I was it.
But, I mean, that's just relating back to what he said about passion. It's like, if this is your passion, like,
Yeah.
you'll go all the way to the
Go
extreme to get it done.
Absolutely.
And I think that's just a testament. So in your documentary, Grails, you said what this is all about relating to the brand. It's about doing what you love and being confident within it.
Mhm.
And I think that's key because I want you to talk about the importance, as a lot of people in this room, maybe let's say want to go into the career of finance or something. And the mantra today is go get that bag or get your money up. And I want you to talk about the importance of doing something you love, not worrying, not doing it for the money, and just the perks of it. So if you can talk about that a little bit.
So even to that, like my final goal for myself is to turn pro in golf. I know I need a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
For a financial perspective, what does it mean to turn? Like, how much do you need to turn pro?
To turn pro, you need anywhere from 100 to 150,000 a year to turn pro. And then after that, you'll compete. Hopefully, you'll make a few cuts. But I mean, you could make well over $3-4 million,
Yeah.
in a year and not win a tournament.
Right.
So, but my main goal was to turn pro in golf, and that is the end of my tunnel. Like this is just a byproduct of something of years of experience that we have.
Yeah.
My passion is design, and I mean he's worked for the mayor. We know how to run businesses. We know how to read financial balance sheets, and I mean just really get down to the nuts and bolts of what really matters in a business.
Right.
But what is it that we truly want to do? And at the end of the day, a lot of people, if you are going to chase that bag, what is your goal? Because you're not going to chase a bag forever. You're going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to get tired of it. So what is it that you truly want to do? You always I would say over the years, I always made business plans and just trying to really dive into what my passion was. And it's crazy because all that I could think of was just save up until something really hits. So it's Eastside Golf came about. I relinquished all my cryptocurrencies, sold that, 401k, got that, credit cards.
Oh, you was all in?
Yeah. I mean, chips, all in.
I mean, we said 401k, you're not playing anymore.
Yeah. It's over with.
Yeah, they get serious.
It's over with.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, what are you going to do with that money at the end of the day? You going to invest with it? I mean, how is that money going to work for you? So that's truly what my mind was thinking. Like, if I start this business, what am I going to need? I'm going to need the bread.
Right.
I'm going to need the bread to turn pro. It's just really steps
Right.
for me. But the end goal for me is to turn back pro,
Yeah.
and I'll have a full schedule next year.
Right. And Earl, I want you to talk about that because I mean, you had a job, like you said, you had all this stuff going for you, and then comes back and hits you with, I want to start a brand.
Yeah.
So explain that to me. What were you thinking?
Nah, I mean, like he said, one, that's my man, so I'm just supporting him in general. Like he was supporting me at the same time. Like I had some things going on in Delaware called HBCU. We scaled it. We was crushing it. We took it from a $3,000 budget to a $3 million budget in 3 years. Right, partnerships with NFL. We brought First Take, Magic Johnson, and it was amazing. So at that time, he's like, "Yo, I got some." And I'm like, all right, but and I'd also, sold children's books at that time. I'd written 3 of them, so I kind of understood a little bit about scaling. I know a lot more than what I knew then. But I was just kind of like, let me see, because everybody think they got a good idea, you know what I mean? That's like everybody think they got a pretty baby, you know what I'm saying? I get it. You don't want to say it, but I understand. But yeah, we love them. We still love them. I didn't say love, but so.
Never talk about somebody else's baby.
Right, exactly. I'm just saying. So basically, his baby, we go down to the PGA show, and he's like, "Yo, I got it," and literally, I saw it then. And my thing was, working in the golf industry, I was just very skeptical, right? At the same, not skeptical of my mans as an individual. It was just like, I don't know if it's gonna work because I'm working at these stuffy, white, prestigious country clubs, right? Like I worked at 2 golf courses. I was the first African American, and they're both over 100 years old.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So these are like coveted roles. In 2016, I was named Golf Digest one of the best teachers in America, PGA, all these honors. So like I'm doing that, right?
So why you take a chance?
Yeah. No, that's the whole point. It was just like, but I saw it when I got down there. I'm like, oh no, you really do have something. And what I saw was, and I think this is kind of, it was the courage, right? Like people were like, wow, finally. And then when you match the courage, the creativity that he has and possessed, and then you take the level of like expertise and the certification that I have in the sport, and you combine them two together, it's not the fact that we know everything, it's the fact that you can't keep us out of any room, right? And so historically, it's almost like if someone were to be running the largest hedge fund in the world and then flip it on its head in a sense, or climb the ladder, and then, because most PGA professionals like myself don't talk like myself, right? Like they want to hold it up in this highest esteem. And I'm like, nah, not really. It's at the end of the day, whether you playing Johnny White down the street for $15 or you paying $500,000 to be a member at Eastlake, it's still grass. You know what I'm saying? Now it's different, but it's kind of, that's the kind of, you know, level that we brought it to. But credit to O, like, and I tell people a lot of times, you know, everybody wants to start their brand and t-shirts. What he did in the beginning was quality. You know what I mean? He did that on his own, right? Like he did not buy regular shirts. He went out and bought good quality shirts because, again, the concept is, how many times have we been given free stuff, right? But if you give somebody quality free stuff, even if you can't give it to, you may only be able to make 5 shirts, but they're all quality, versus you making 50 that are, those 5 people, when they get around, they're like, wow, this is actually really nice. They might tell someone, you know what I mean? So it was those little steps along the way. And like he said, I just seen him working. I saw the vision myself. I'm like, all right. And I felt like I could add value as well. I mean, I think that's one of my gifts, where it's like being able to treat other people's dreams as if they're mine. You know what I mean? And so I understand, like, this isn't, he came to me with this. This wasn't my thing that I, you know what I mean?
You know what's interesting though? Now I kind of understand how this was working now. And my mind was kind of going, Jordan, we just gave you a new shoe brand and you're running the Jordan brand.
Right.
That's what it really is, because you're going about to play golf, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna run the brand, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. MJ, what's up, baby?
I mean, that's the model. That's the model. But think about it.
I need him to be MJ. The brand is doing
But you know
well.
what? That's the model. So, when you become really big, guess what? Your brand becomes big, and it's gonna pay big dividends.
For sure.
Correct.
Sure.
Thanks.
Nah.
Now, I know,
Great, man.
so you guys work in the golf industry, and the golf industry is a majority, like I already said, people on the opposite side of the spectrum as us.
Yeah.
And I made the illusion earlier, like, for example, let's say someone wanted to work into the corporate America or finance.
Yeah.
It's going to look a lot like what it does in golf
Yes.
in that area.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, how is it to navigate a space where you're the minority, and what challenges does those brings at times?
I'll go first. I
Okay.
mean,
This one.
when it comes to golf, when it comes to golf, it's definitely like corporate America.
Yeah.
You know, I have 9 years of experience in corporate America. You know, so I know the things, what to say, what not to say. You know, to get to a point of me being a regional sales manager, about to be VP, I definitely know how to move. You know, and even now, you know, I can be myself, but there's certain things I can't say.
Right.
Certain things I can't say, or I know that if I say it, I got to be able to back it up, or really just stand on it and really prove myself. And sometimes you don't need to say anything, just do it. You know. So, but I just said that to say, I mean, golf has just given us, I mean, so much, just as far as business, and it made us just better people.
Yeah, and I would say like navigating them spaces isn't easy. You know, for me, I always looked at it as an opportunity to reset the standard. You know, because I knew what I was bringing to the table, and I knew that most of these folks had never spent this much time you know what I mean, around a black person. And then again, you start to see that these folks aren't quote unquote special, right? Like you get the chance to really see how they do it. And that's, for me, is like the book called The Spook That Sat by the Door, right? And that analogy, and I'm just like, I'm watching the game, like I can kind of soak it up. I'm a very visual learner. And so for me, that's a lot of what it was. And even when you think of like statistics, so there's 28,000 PGA members of America. And so these guys and girls are what we call like the gatekeepers of golf, right? These are the folks that manage golf courses around the country and a little bit of the business side. And their line is basically experts in the golf business. Out of that 28,000, there's roughly only 200 African Americans.
And that's what you were before.
Yes.
Okay.
So like that's a fraction. So it's like you have to embrace it. And I think more than anything, it was just always this thing of like, we knew the opportunities in the sport. You know it's there, but it's like, if it ain't you, then who? Right? And so it's like, if I'm not the first, and really I should be judged on not the first, but who's coming behind me.
Right.
And I think that's probably the only reason why I really pivoted, because I felt like I could have a deeper impact on the platform that we have now when it comes to Eastside Golf. Because to this point, we can show up as our true, authentic self and understand, like you said, there's a time and a place, right? And it's like, there's certain rules that you have to embrace just because it's business. It's not like no one's trying to tell you that you can't be you, right? It's just, hey, like certain things you need to show up on time.
Right.
This is how you talk to people, all those sorts of things. However, we do know that golf, I personally believe that there's always been an itch in the black community of golf. Right? This level of interest, like what is it? I don't know. I kind of, but like you said, we were never welcome because the gatekeepers, they don't represent us, right? So they don't even really low key know how to even welcome us. So then, I feel like where our brand is just that perfect intersection is literally we're taking golf expertise and culture. Like we have real authentic relationships with culture, whether it be from a Jason Tatum to Jeezy to Fat Joe, Chris Paul, like you name it. Like these guys aren't just people that wear our clothes, like they're in our phone. You know what I mean? Like these are guys that we talk to, can reach out to. It's all love. So, but to have that, but then have the golf expertise, like he'll tell you, we was out with Jeezy, Super Bowl, and we in the section, he literally talking about golf. He's like, yo, bro, I need 3 days. We gotta go out.
I ain't gonna lie, I heard Jeezy was trash. I ain't gonna hold it.
He just getting started though. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We can't.
Nah, shout out Jeezy.
Right.
Yeah, man.
That's why people don't want to play.
Yeah.
Cause they be like, oh, I heard he trash. And I get the point. Yes, he's just getting started. But the beautiful fact is like, yo, we got young Jeezy actually playing golf. Right. And so the beauty is like, that's the thing. And truth be told, most people at golf are trash. Most. Like, there isn't, 9 out of 10, your boss that you go, he's not the best. These people that are out there playing, they're probably the best at what they do, whether it be running businesses, finance, whatever. That's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is, they've gotten over it and the opportunities that exist out there, right? So it's like, so what if you trash? Are you still going to miss out on that opportunity?
That's right.
Yeah. See, my saying, it's not my saying, but I mean, if you're gonna go out bad, at least look good doing it. So I mean, that brings me to the point.
Jeezy
like,
got that covered.
Yeah, man, y'all got that covered. I mean, like, so, I want you to talk about, because I know you do all the designing about these clothes, man. Where's the inspiration from? Like, for example, I know I know they can't see the shoes, the red clay, but just talk about that for a little bit. Kind of your inspiration from where these designs come from.
Yeah. So
Take it off, man.
Take it off.
Your feet don't stink. Your feet don't stink.
The socks crazy.
So this is actually our Air Jordan 12 red clay shoe. It's great. The story behind it is I literally used to take the MARTA to the golf course, you know. But my mom used to have like 3 jobs, and you know I had to find a way. So by the time I get to the bus stop, you know I got a little red clay mud splattered all over my shoes, you know. And then I get on the bus, take it all the way down to sometimes like Johnny White or Charlie Yates or Browns Mill, And by the time I get there, I'm walking, take a little break, 36 holes, walking that.
Are you playing 2 rounds?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm out there all day.
Yeah.
I'm out there
You
all
said
day.
bleeding hands.
And by the time I get done, there's
Yeah.
red clay mud all over my shoes,
Yeah.
all over my clothes, my shirt, my face. But it shows grit, determination that I'm able to get it out the mud. And that's where I say the inspiration for all 5 shoes came from.
That's hard.
So that's what the red clay mud splattered all over the shoes.
That's tough.
did.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen it yet, but the 4s y'all have, man, what?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said you took over the sneaker world for 48 hours.
Yeah.
I really did. Yeah. It's one of those ones. But here, I kind of want to ask if you both of y'all could give one piece of advice to students who are looking to get ready to start their careers, and just from what you guys all have learned, all the experiences you've had, just give them one piece of advice that they can take and really run with it.
My one piece of advice would be to keep learning.
Yeah.
Like, you will never know enough, you will never know everything, and don't have that ego to where, like your ears are closed, like just keep learning. Like, I'm still learning now, even though I'm great at what we do, but the more successful that I am comes from, being a great listener. So I would say definitely keep learning, keep listening, and shut your mouth sometimes. Just listen, and really accept the surroundings, and then flourish from there. So
I was advising a student today. He's got a great concept, and I was just asking him general questions. And to piggyback on what you just said, and every time I asked him a question, he would defend the product. What the product can do is the product. Okay, you're not asking my question, and you're defending. So you're falling in love with your product that you become protective. And the higher you move up, the more expertise you're going to get from people, and you really need to learn. And that's the thing. So, the more successful you are, you're going to have to push yourself, and you're going to have to learn to take advice. And his interpretation of it was like, okay, I need to accept criticism. And I'm not criticizing you, I'm helping you.
Right.
And helping you get to the next line. I'm supposed to ask you the hard question. I'm supposed to prepare you so when you do your pitch and try to get $50,000 to $100,000, you know what you're talking about, and you're not intimidated. So let me intimidate you, but let me also help and build you up so you can answer those questions. So I appreciate that. Open your ears up, listen to what people are trying to do. They're trying to help you. So.
absolutely,
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
My advice would be, which has helped me a lot, is just be well-rounded. Like, it kind of goes back, and what I mean by that is, like, I can remember, coming up, I used to caddy. That was kind of like my first introduction to, like, private country clubs, because we didn't have a membership. And so I just remember caddying, and caddying, you don't know who you're getting, right? It could be anybody, right? They just call your number, you throw in a bid, and you go. Two bags, and you lugging. And I just remember all these conversations that were being held, and I couldn't interject. I couldn't add anything, and I just didn't like that fact. And so for me, I just being well-rounded has helped me tremendously to be able to just know small little anecdote facts that you just never know when they can come in handy. But a lot of times it's just being well-rounded has allowed me to insert myself into so many different scenarios, no matter what it may be. So that would be one. I think when I think about, our success, and especially when you're young, I think, and everyone says it, but really just have that long-term vision, man. And I can't say that enough, because I came out of college making $24,000 a year. Like, it wasn't this big 6-figure, I'm crushing it, And my journey was a little bit, I moved to Port St. Lucie, Florida. There's nothing sexy about Port St. Lucie, Florida. I'm working.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds
It sounds
good.
good.
It's an older retirement community. It's a nice place, but it was like, I'm working there, and then like it was grind mode, And so all I'm saying is that everybody's journey is different. I know we all want it, now, but I can tell you, like, I'm sitting in my position, and everything that I went through prepared me, and like I said, I just appreciate it so much more, because I do remember where I started, and I also remember, like, I was happy before Eastside Golf, right? So like, I'm happy now, right? Like, it's not the money that all of a sudden, like, now I'm like, all right, I'm satisfied now. I'm like, nah, it tell you I was doing dope stuff before, I'm doing dope stuff now, but like, know who you are, right? Even though we, earlier we talked about, I want to whatever it is, you want to make this, you got to do this, you got to that. But if you don't know who you are, and it's all about the money, I've seen it. I know too many people with a lot of money and they are not happy. So just know who you are, know what makes you happy, because all money does, and me and him talk about this as we continue to climb, it's just truly, if you're not disciplined, what we said earlier, it's just going to expose whatever it is, because you can do whatever. Literally. You can go wherever, you can be around whoever, whatever your vice is, it's there. Because that's all it is. It's just you, there's no reason why it can't be there, because you have exposure to it. And it's just, if you don't have that discipline and you don't know who you are as a person, it's kind of like when we first started moving around, like literally, he'll tell you we both put on weight. Because everywhere we going, it's food, it's drinks. It's like, you got to know when to be like, all right, I know it's free.
But it's new though, so it's like.
Right. But that's the discipline in it, where it's like, I know it's free, but I got to like, I done went from a medium to a large. Now I'm almost at an extra large. You know what I mean? Like I gotta have that discipline. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you just eating, you just running around because you just happy everywhere we go. It's just flowing. It's just, you just think, oh, because it's there, I gotta grab.
Right.
You know what? And I agree with you. Money shows you who you really are.
Yeah.
And self-awareness is the key to life.
Yeah, and
So,
one thing I
that.
took away from that was a lot of people, like you said, want it now, instant gratification. And sometimes we need to take a step back and realize we're in a season of learning, not earning. And sometimes a lot of people, just like you said, just want that instant gratification. But like you said, like I started this out of my apartment. It wasn't just straight warehouses, like everything what it is now. So I think that's just a testament to their story. So
just one last thing too. I would say, I mean, because I already know, mostly everybody here is going to graduate, get a job, and continue to progress in your career. That's what's definitely expected of you. But during each of those jobs or whatever you go through, learn something from it. Like, how are you going to run a business if you don't even know how to be the entry-level employee of what you may need one day from starting a business? You have to start from the bottom and learn what entry-level, senior level, then director level, then VP level, then CEO level, finally when you want to start yours. But you got to start somewhere to know how a business is ran, so you'll know how to run yours. So just learn over the years. It's not going to come easy. You're going to have some downfalls. You might get let go. You know, it might not be because of you. It just might be because of the economy or something. But just continue to learn at every single job that you have, and that's how I've become I think, in his words, a great founder. So
that's MJ right there, man. That's MJ, man. That's MJ.
My job is easy.
Hey, so y'all are everywhere, literally everywhere. You were just at All-Star Weekend. I mean, we can go down the list. Y'all been everywhere. So I want to ask the people, kind of use that almost as like a promotion. What's the future for you? Any new clothing lines? I want to ask y'all about that. I've heard about the Eastside Golf Classic. You're not gonna say, maybe get a little.
So talk about that. We actually have our spring line that just dropped for men's. We finally have our women's collection that will be dropping at the end of March. Women's Month. And then we have a national championship, Eastside Golf National Championship. I didn't call it HBCU National Champion or Eastside Golf HBCU National Championship because, this first year will be all HBCUs, but the next year I want to be able to invite PWIs that will compete against
this
these
is college teams, college golf teams?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all are sponsoring it and everything?
Yeah, and it's presented by State Farm as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then we have our Eastside Golf Invitational.
You should let us do our podcast there live, right?
There you go.
I told you I'm always selling now. I told you I'm always selling. I told y'all that there. I'm from Chicago. I saw an opportunity. I'm messing with you.
Our Eastside Golf Invitational is presented by Mercedes-Benz. That's going to be in at Liberty National at Jersey City, New Jersey, or New York. It's right there. And then we have a clothing collab that we have coming out with Mercedes-Benz as well. 2 more shoes with Nike as well later this year.
Can we get a sneak peek of it? Is it a Jordan? All right, we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Those are just a few things that we have.
That's awesome. Like I said, y'all are really inspirations, man. I can't say enough. Ever since I got this interview, I told you I've been bouncing off the wall. Literally, like my roommates in the crowd, like I've been going crazy. Y'all are really inspiration. But I thank y'all I thank you, Professor Young.
Absolutely.
Before we go, we
Yeah.
got a plug. I need everybody to pull out their phone and download our app.
Most definitely.
Costs
Yeah.
no money.
Download that.
Eastside Golf right
Promotions.
now, Apple Store, Android. Follow us on the gram at Eastside Golf. We definitely a brand that is also connected to the community. We actually have our community day tomorrow in Jacksonville. We do it in Memphis, Augusta, Detroit, and Atlanta, and it's very different. Like our community day is not, you know, the old theory of like, oh, we're gonna go to the hood and give some 12-year-olds some golf club and think that they're golfers. You know, we consider this our community, young professionals, because you all are the next generation. So if we could y'all start playing golf now, when you all have your families, and even you don't have kids, your nieces, your nephews, it just becomes normalized.
That's right.
Like that's the ultimate goal, right? And it's the same thing you're doing with your education. That's why you came here, right? You see the impact that you have on your folks when you go home, where it's just like, now you're like, I did it. And they're like, oh yeah, you did do it. And you still the same person.
Right,
You human, we all went to the same high school, whatever, came up through the same way. So that's the way we ultimately see golf, right? And so we're in it for the long term, the long haul, where it's like, that's success, right? Like, so with my kids and Grant, it's like, when they look at, when someone sees them playing golf, and it's not like, oh my God, you're a black girl and you play golf? You're a black boy and you play golf?
It's coming now.
It's like, nah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's part of the culture.
for sure.
Yeah. Man, but y'all dropped so many gems today, man. Really, just giving the insights. Like, a lot of people don't see the side of Eastside Golf. Like I said, we only see the glamour. And seeing the backstory, I think that's just vital for a lot of people in this room who are looking to get into entrepreneurship. So, with that being said, like I said, I thank y'all for y'all time. I really do appreciate y'all.
For sure.
Professor Yarn, thank you. I hope y'all enjoy. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
All right.